Sometimes it's called a police action. Sometimes it's called the forgotten war. But to those who served, fought, were wounded, or gave the ultimate sacrifice, it's only known as one thing, the Korean War. Hi, I'm Tracy Willett, and soon we're going to be joining some Korean War veterans who received a special award recently. But before we do that, let's join the man who was responsible for this event. He's going to give us some insight into the Korean War, as well as some of the activities of his group. I'm now joined by Ed Davis, who's from the local Korean War Veterans Group. Ed, thanks for joining us. Why don't you explain a little bit your role, your group's activities, and some of the things you do?
Okay. As Tracy mentioned, I'm Ed Davis from the Burton Good Sergeant, Chapter No. 1, Korean War Veterans of Bangor, Maine. The No. 1 chapter in the state, and we do quite a few different things for the community. But I'd like to go right back to when we started in 1992. Two men got together, Ken Buckley and Fred Harden, and they decided that we needed a memorial up here, both Korean War veterans. And so they enlisted other people around to run around and collect money for the chapter, not realizing how much it was really going to cost, which was quite a bit. And but they survived, and they kept on trucking, brought in more people, got a lot of support from the community, and also went around to find a site that they could put this memorial on. And they had quite a job, but they come over to Mount Hope and talked to the trustees over here, who gave us this site here and thought it would be a good addition to the cemetery, as which you can see is, and it's kind of a crowning jewel for this cemetery. Now in 1996, we finally collected enough to get started here, and they talked to the Adjutant General of the state of Maine and got the support of the Bangor Air National Guard to come over here and do site preparation. And from there, they enlisted other people to come in, and it was all volunteer labor. And the monument service that we got this from was, let's see, Provost Monuments in Fairfield, Maine. And they gave us the best deal, the best price. And then we were able to collect enough to do this. And then we decided to help pay for it was to sell paver stones, as you see here, right here. And we have 724 here right now. And these paver stones are in the honor of veterans who have served. Towns came through and bought stones, Bangor, Brewer, all the local towns bought them. And we were able to take some of that money to build this. Now it doesn't look like we have over 700 stones, but we have 4 that are ready to go in at any time that we can get together, which will be very soon.
Ed, you mentioned Monument Company, and one of the pieces that I found very interesting here is this table, or tablet if you will, of the entire map of North and South Korea, and especially this line, this 38th parallel line, and some of the locations. It might be helpful for folks if you could kind of explain a little bit that significance of that line and some of these locations.
Okay, so, certainly. This line here is the 38th parallel that divided North and South Korea at the beginning of the war. North Korea up here wanted to unify the whole peninsula under their rule, communist rule, and with the help of the Russian, supposedly allies, they went below there and attacked South Korea without any warning, any provocation. And they went all the way down the peninsula to about this area here, where we stiffened up and we brought our troops in from Japan and held the line there. In the meantime, MacArthur got his bunch of troops together and came around here on this side and landed in Incheon to sever the forces here so that they could easily take them over. And then when they did, they came right up through here, right up through the Yellow River to the top of Korea. And this was all within about an 8-month period. They were up here. Well, they thought the war was going to be over very quickly, so they really weren't prepared for a winter siege. Well, the unfortunate part about it was North Korea had the coldest winter that they've had in 50 years. And our troops weren't prepared for that, and guns froze up, tanks, all kinds of things because of the extreme cold, and there was a lot of frostbite by our troops up there. So they were, and then all of a sudden, 500,000 Chinese came in to support the North Koreans. And of course, they pushed us back, way back to the 38th parallel again, where we were able to get more troops in and be able to establish some kind of line there. But that line went back and forth over the next 3 years until they finally decided on a truce, but they worked that out over here in Kaesong, right in here, and Panmunjom, right in this area. And they finally decided to go back to the 38th parallel.
And that's a line that still exists today.
That's a line that still exists today. It's known as a DMZ,
Interesting.
the demilitarization zone.
Interesting. Very interesting information. I think we're ready to join you and the rest of your comrades in the Korean War at the award ceremony recently held.
Thank you, Tracy.
Everyone seems to be having a good time so far. As you can see, an event such as this provides a great opportunity for friends and former comrades in arms to gather and share memories, swap stories, and catch up on old times. We're now ready to join Ed Davis as he starts the awards presentation. This is an NVP production made possible by Page Employment and Seaboard Security.
I see so many veterans here because this is an important day. And we'll be giving out some plaques from the governor of the state of Maine, and also from Major General John Libby, his signature is on the plaque certificate, which you're all getting today. We didn't pass that word out to you people because we thought if we did, you might not come. So we kind of put this together kind of on the slide, so to speak. I appreciate you all coming out. We have gentlemen from Saco over there. Because this is the original chapter, state of Maine, the Korean War veterans. This is the original. It's a fine one. We have some fine gentlemen here today. To honor those will be Lieutenant Colonel Mark Emery, Executive Officer of Troop Command, and he will be handing out these certificates. And when we call your name, we'd like you to come up one at a time. Take a chance to have your picture taken, Colonel.
Boy, it is something you can sell people later on.
He has a sense of humor. Okay. I've known Colonel Emery for quite a while. He used to be an officer in the 262nd Engineer Battalion. Is that correct, sir?
That's right.
Yes. We go back a long way. So fine gentlemen. Okay, I would like to take just a moment to do the Pledge of Allegiance and the silent prayer for our missing comrades. Do it, please. Over here in the corner. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And remain standing. We'll have a silent prayer for our departed and our veterans and MIAs and POWs. And also to mention our chapter members who have recently passed on. Nancy Boone, Philip Coolidge, Everett Steele, Robert Haskell, William Gardner, Raymond Smart, Leslie Gilbert, Clifford Royal, John Sprout, Theodore Robinson, and Ralph Foster. Thank you. You may be seated. Someone will be. Remember, would you like to come up? Say a few words before we get started? Would you like?
I'd like to welcome everybody here, and number one, obviously, thanks for your service. They call, Korean War the forgotten war, but all these many years later, people still remember what you've done, and I appreciate that. I'd just like to also say that welcome here on behalf of General Libby and Governor Baldacci. I'm sure General Libby would like to have been here today, but he had other things going on that he was not able to make it, so he sent his stand-in, which in this case was me. So my dad was a Korean War veteran, so I've always had an affinity for you guys, and I think he was the biggest reason that I continued in the military after I became an adult, was because of his dedication and his love for the military and the country. So it was a Korean War veteran that shaped my life also. I'd just like to thank you guys for everything you've done.
Okay, if you stay there, so calling the names. John and Augustus.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for continuing good service.
By the way, we are fortunate too to have Eric Baxter and his wife Pam here from Page Employment. Eric is the president of Page Employment, and he's said he would come and do a DVD on this ceremony, so that we'll get a chance to see it at a later time for everybody here. John Anderson. Olive Benton.
Stand back too.
Hanford Burton. Here.
Here.
Robert Cameron. Yes.
I'll give Bill Libby hell because he's my brother-in-law. I'm not doing it.
Edward Campbell.
Thank you, sir.
That's okay with me.
Paul Curtis. Okay, stay right there. Yeah. I have a special presentation for my friend Paul Curtis, also my roommate from Korea, when we went back to revisit the program. He's also a survivor of Outpost Harry, which was a very, very rough battle near the end of the war. And he's a survivor. There's not that many survivors, and Paul is. And an appreciation for his service, my friend, is a personal plaque, so to speak, for Paul.
stay right there. Please. And David. What's the next one?
Leonard Foltz.
Leonard.
Okay. Ken Gray. You here? No. Richard Grenier. Richard Hatchie.
Grenier is not able to make it today, but we can see that he gets it.
Okay.
Richard Hatchie?
Yep.
He's here. I can see it. Okay. We're going to stand aside this. There's the cameraman right there. Del Hayner.
Yeah, if I giggle. If he comes ready or not.
When shall we get to Hey, wait.
I just want to say you're all keepers. Thank you.
Harold Hanson. Somebody needs to take his picture.
Frame you.
I've been framed before.
Thank you, Colonel. Thank you very much.
Stand still now.
There you go. Reverse it, Fred Harvey.
Thank you. You get it?
Walter Hirsch. David Kelly.
I'll take it, Barney.
George McCann couldn't make it.
Mac, don't take this stuff.
He's not back in here.
Alfred Meister.
Al's not here.
Al Metz are not here.
Never seen him.
Mitchell.
Hey, Fred. Oh, Fred.
Horace Moffett.
Moffett here?
John Moore.
John Moore's here.
Yes, he's here.
Daughter or daughter-in-law.
Francis Mooney.
He's here.
You here?
Yep.
Oh, of course he is. I don't know him by Francis. By Frank. Dale Rogers.
There you go, Dale.
You. Lawrence Stanchfield.
The money man.
He's also our treasurer. He handles all the money, so be nice to him. Marshall Strout, not here. John Tremley.
Next to last, just like Pete.
You gotta take it from me, you can't just grab it.
You can't grab it from me.
George White, Jr. See if you find mine in there. John Wilson. I thought I'd throw you a curve.
Yeah, but you're a wise guy, you can hair.
Yeah, a little bit. Have it thinned out every year, every 3 weeks.
Have to do the same for me.
Yeah.
That was quite a ceremony, and Ed, I think those awards meant a lot to those that received them today.
Yes, it certainly did, Tracy. These gentlemen are all in their 70s now, and they had never been recognized before by anyone in the state government, and it really meant a lot. I mean, our war ended in 1953, and nobody really acknowledged us or thanked us. But this year, it seems like everybody is thanking us, and we got this from Governor Baldacci, which was great, and also signed by the Adjutant General of the state of Maine, John Libby. And people are really pricked right up, and they're really proud of this presentation from the state of Maine, and it was presented by Colonel Mark Emery, who was the Deputy Commander of the 240th Engineer Group, and it was really great.
Excellent. Now, for those that are out there that would like to become part of your group, where do you meet? How do they contact you or whoever they need to contact to become a member of your group?
Okay, we meet every second Monday of the month over to the Howard Johnson restaurant at 12 noon. And I suggest anybody who is interested in belonging can come over there to our meeting as a guest and become members. Now, you've got to understand that the Korean War is really not over. We just had an armistice, and anyone who's served in Korea since June 1950 can belong. Even if they're over in Korea now and they come home, they can become a member A lot of people don't realize that, but that war is still not officially over. So they can become members. Just come to our meeting, please. Now, I noticed at this last parade that they had the World War II people marching, and behind them a group, the Korean War, marching, and right behind them were our group, also Korean War veterans, and we are trying to get a dialogue with all of those people to get them to join with us.
That's excellent. And that's the Howard Johnson's on Odland Road in Bangor, that's correct?
Yes,
Excellent.
that is correct. Just come. That's the easiest way to do it because we have no headquarters. We're not that big a group, and we don't have that kind of money. All our money goes into this fine memorial here for perpetual care now. We've paid for the memorial, and we're 2/3 of the way through paying for perpetual care. So,
Excellent. Excellent. Ed, thank you very much. Appreciate your time and certainly the efforts of you and your group for this memorial and for the awards that we just saw. And good luck to you and your group and your continued efforts to recognize those that did indeed serve in the Korean War. Thank you.
thank you, Tracy.
That concludes our presentation of the Korean War Veterans Association Awards Banquet. If you're in the Bangor area, I would certainly encourage you to visit this memorial on the grounds of the beautiful Mount Hope Cemetery located in Bangor. Our special thanks to Seaboard Security and Page Employment for making this program possible. On behalf of My Video Productions, thank you for joining us.